Meantime, wet and rainy road conditions around the coastal bend being blamed for several traffic accidents on I-37. They happened along Labonte Park and Redbird, where they all range from cars losing control to a driver being trapped inside a car for some time. Fortunately, no one was killed in these accidents, but CCPD wants to remind drivers to stay safe on the road, especially on this stretch of highway.
This area here, you've got people coming into Corpus. The roads are slick. There's a lot of traffic that comes through this area. People just need to be aware of that and to drive appropriately.
CCPD asking drivers to remember to keep their speed 5 miles under the designated speed limit during wet conditions. Have a good thread on your tires there, and always have a good amount of distance between a car that's driving in front of you. Good suggestion there.